Hola, and ¿qué pasó, students? This is your well-tanned math teacher, Mr. Picard. Nothing big went on yesterday, just kind of hanging out down here. And, well, let's get into some math, shall we? Oh, we shall. We're going to be working with what's called composition of functions. And it's kind of what we've been doing a little bit. And but now we're going to do a little bit further. We're going to take a function and plug it into another one. Like, here's my g of x function. Here's what it's equal to. And I'm going to plug this in for x in the other function. Plug it into the other function. That's kind of what we're getting into today. So composition of functions. It's going to take a little bit of understanding. But right here we have the way you would say this is f of g of x. F of g of x. We're taking and putting the g of x function into the f function. That's why it's in parentheses like that. But we don't actually put the title in there. That's just the way we write it. It's kind of like the notation. You got to get used to working with the notation. We're going to take f of, well, what is g of x equal to? It's equal to this, x squared plus x minus 1. I'm going to take that whole thing, that whole expression, and plug it into the f of x function in for x. So what this ends up becoming is there's only one x here, and we're not multiplying anything by it, so it's x squared plus x minus 1, and then this is taking place of the x for my f of x function plus 3. This is addition here, so we can basically drop the parentheses and combine like terms. So when we do that, well, I only have one x squared term, there it is. I only have one x term, there it is. But I do have a couple constants, the numbers. I got a -1 and a +3. That's going to give me +2. So f of g of x is equal to this. It's not too bad. It does get a little bit more complicated, especially if we go the other way in this case. So there it is, plugging one function into another one. If you want to see this again, you can rewind it and come back to it. But I'm going to go into the next one here. This one's a little bit more complicated and definitely a little bit more work. Now I'm going to plug the f of x function into the g of x function. So this is going to be g of, well, what is f of x equal to? Right up here. It's equal to x plus 3. So I'm going to plug x plus 3 in. That's what f of x is equal to here into the g of x function. So wherever I see an x here, I plug in x plus 3. So I have x squared. Well, that becomes x plus 3 squared plus x. Well, that's plus another x plus 3. And finally minus 1. So this used to be x squared plus x minus 1, but all the x's became x plus 3's. So here we go. Now, here's the big mistake. And don't write this down because this is wrong. A lot of people say, hey, power to a power. That becomes x squared plus 9. Well, we can't use power to a power here. Does anybody remember the reason? Well, how many terms do we have inside here? 2. So basically, you got to take this x plus 3 and multiply it by itself 2 times. And then we're going to use FOIL. So it's x plus 3 times x plus 3. Plus this x plus 3, I can, being its addition here, I can just drop the parentheses. And then finally minus the 1. Okay, if you get stuck, you can rewind and go back and look at it anytime. So simplifying this, so let's get rid of the parentheses first. So we're going to have to FOIL this. And we got an x squared first. Outside. All it is the distributive property twice. I'm done with this x now. Now I go to the 3. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. Let me write that a little bit better. Okay, and then I got plus x, and I can combine these two. That's just plus 2. Finally, just clean it up. Combine like terms. There's only one x squared term. Done. 3x plus 3x plus x is going to give me 7x. And finally, 9 plus 2 is 11. There's my answer. That's what we're looking for, just that expression, x squared plus 7x plus 11. Well, what does it come from? That's g of f of x. You plug the f of x function into the g of x function. And that's about it. Let's look at the next one. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's some new notation. It says composition of functions here, right here. That's where you plug in one function into another. Suppose f and g are two functions, then this. Now it looks like a multiplication symbol, and that's what I used to think when I was a junior. I would just multiply the f of x function and the g of x function. But when it's a circle like this, it's saying once again, it's just a different way of writing this, f of g of x. F of g of x. So whenever you see this, and there'll be a little circle, and then a g. It's not multiplication. Okay, it's just what it is right here. If you see the f function, and then the little circle, and then the g, f of g of x, you're going to take the g of x function and basically plug it into the f of x function. It looks just like this. So take the expression part for g of x and plug it into the f function. Same way if you had this, g of f. If you had the g function first, then the f function, you'd be finding g of f of x. Plug the f of x function into the g of x function. So we're going to do this one over here. Here's a diagram for it. I never really understood this diagram. This always kind of screwed me up. So if it makes sense to you guys, great. If not, well, don't worry about it. Even math teachers get confused once in a while. Not very often, though. Let's be honest. Okay, here's f of x. It's equal to x squared. Here's g of x. It's equal to 3x plus 4. And they kind of shorten up the notation. They're saying f of g. Okay, the little circle. It's not multiplication. So we're finding this. F of g, fog, if you will, of x. So this is going to be f of g of x. Plug the g of x function into the f of x function. Well, that means I'm going to find f of g of x is equal to 3x plus 4. So I'm going to plug this 3x plus 4 in to my f of x function. Well, there's only an x squared there, so it becomes 3x plus 4, that quantity, squared. Okay, so is this power 2 power, yes or no? Exactly, it's not. I know it kind of screws us up because we have parentheses with an exponent outside of it, but this would be like one term. This is power 2 power. Okay, this is not because there's two terms. So it just becomes 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. If this was cubed here to the third power, then I'd have to list all three of them and FOIL the first two and then multiply it by the last one later. But anyway, 3x times 3x is 9x squared. FOILing it out, 3x times 4 plus 12x, 4 times 3x plus another 12x. Finally, 4 times 4 is 16. So my final answer of fog of x, or f of g of x, is 9x squared. This adds up to 24 plus 16. And there we go. I'm going to go lay on the beach, watch my kids wipe out on boogie boards. You guys have a great day and be nice to Mrs. Brevik. and be good. I was gonna say something, but I forgot now. Okay, peace out.